Welcome. What you are about to witness is not merely a story, but an exploration of the existential anxiety that resides deep within us. We are all passengers on journeys with unknown final destinations, and this is the core of analog horror. This art form relies not on monsters or jump scares, but on the distortion of the familiar, using the aesthetics of the past to create a feeling that something has gone irrevocably wrong. It instills in us a sense that the rules we trust are no longer valid. Our story begins aboard a train. There is no memory of how we got here, no indication of the destination. You are just another passenger in a near-empty car, moving forever forward. The only sound is the monotonous hum of the wheels on the tracks, a sound that over time transforms from comforting to a sonic prison. The other passengers, if any, are mere shadows, phantoms in your periphery, who neither interact nor age. In your hand, you find a small slip of paper, worn at the edges. It feels as if it has been with you the entire time. On it is a single message, written in simple yet firm ink. Do not get off the train until it reaches the last stop. This rule is your only guidance in this moving void. It is not just a warning, but a contract, a silent agreement between you and this unknown reality. To violate it feels like a betrayal of the only order left in a world that has lost all logic. Time passes incomprehensibly. The landscapes outside the window shift from familiar cities to impossible forests and deserts of glass. You are trapped in a liminal space, a transitional place that is neither a beginning nor an end. These spaces evoke deep anxiety because they strip us of our sense of stability. The train is no longer just a mode of transport. It has become an existential state, a perpetual suspension between what was and what might be, feeding a profound sense of isolation and loss. As years that feel like days go by, your memories of the outside world begin to fade. The face of your family, the sound of your friends' voices, the feeling of sunlight on your skin, all of it becomes a distant echo, an abstract concept. Was it ever real? The train doesn't just steal your time, it steals your identity, slowly erasing the person you were and replacing them with this empty existence. You are becoming part of the train, just another piece of its moving furniture. After an immeasurable amount of time, a new feeling is born within you: rebellion. The fear of the unknown is no longer greater than the horror of this eternal certainty. You can no longer tolerate this passive existence. You look at the paper in your hand, the rule that has governed your life, and you decide to break it. You will get off at the next stop, whatever it may be. It is a decision born, not of hope, but of absolute despair, a desire to reclaim agency, even if the price is annihilation. The train slows, an event so rare, it feels supernatural. The doors open onto a station that looks unnervingly normal. The sun is shining, The air is fresh. You ignore the empty gazes of the other passengers and take your first step onto the platform. For a moment, you feel freedom, relief. You have survived. You have escaped the moving prison. But the sound of the train departing behind you has a note of the world you have stepped into is your world, but it's not your time. The buildings have changed. The technology has advanced beyond recognition. You find your way to your old home, only to find a strange family living there. At the local library, you discover the horrifying truth in the old records. Decades have passed. Your family and friends lived their lives and died. You were declared missing, then deceased. You are now a ghost in your own future. In that moment, you understand the true meaning of the message. Do not get off the train until it reaches the last stop. The last stop was never a geographical place at the end of the line. There was no end of the line. The last stop was a concept. It was the moment you chose to disembark. Whichever station you chose became, by definition, your final one. You chose your own end, and this is it. The true horror is not the lost time, but the absolute isolation you now face. You are a complete stranger, an artifact from a forgotten era. There is nowhere to go back to, and no one who knows you. The train, despite being a prison, was at least a shared reality. Now, you are utterly alone in a world that is no longer yours. You have traded one prison for another, a moving one for a static, endless one. The train is a metaphor for life itself, a continuous journey into the unknown. The rule is the fear that prevents us from making drastic decisions, the fear of leaving the familiar, even if it is painful. Your story is a cautionary tale about the meaning of choice. In your attempt to find meaning or an exit, you erased your own existence. The horror lies not in the monsters that chase us, but in the idea that our own actions, meant to save us, may be the very things that destroy us. In the end, there is no resolution. There is no conclusion. You are just an echo, stuck in a time that is not your own. As the image fades to black, a question hangs in the air, resonating in the silence of your consciousness. Would it have been better to stay on the train, on an eternal but familiar journey, rather than face this empty reality? There is no answer, only the fading hum and the silence that follows.